Now to our other top stories. Streets are now back open near the federal detention center in downtown L.A. after some members of a No Kings protest clashed with law enforcement. And we have new numbers in from the LAPD and from federal officials. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Kathy Vara.
And I'm Camilla Rambaldi in for Jonathan Gonzalez. More than 6 dozen people were arrested downtown, and News Chopper 4 was overhead. Starting just before 5 tonight, we saw some people from the nearby No Kings March move toward the federal building. You can see them kicking the barricade. The LAPD says they were throwing concrete blocks, bottles, and other objects, causing federal officers to use tear gas. But then a change. Unlike some past protests, law enforcement did not let this crowd linger into the night.
They did issue a dispersal order around 5:45 and moved in to make arrests shortly after. Some protesters were tackled. One protester was seen on camera being knocked over by a mounted horse. Bill Saley with the U.S. Attorney's Office says he is seeking federal felony charges for anyone accused of assaulting officers.
This was just a small group. The demonstration in downtown L.A. and the hundreds of others across the country were largely peaceful. The No Kings protests stretched from Southern California to the East Coast, even to Mexico and across Europe. U.S. organizers were expecting the state to be the largest of the recent No Kings protests. That would make it the biggest nonviolent protest in U.S. history. There were 50 different protests in communities across Southern California.
And we have video from all over the region, from Studio City to the OC, Altadena to the IE. People of all ages came out to stand up against President Trump, they say, and his policies. NBC4's Amber Frias has more on their message.
Demonstrations filled downtowns, parks, and streets across Southern California, bringing thousands of people together with one shared message.
This is what democracy looks like.
Chants echoed through La Palma Park as thousands gathered in Anaheim for one of many No Kings Day rallies held across Southern California.
We're just here to remind people that we're going to stand collectively in solidarity against oppression.
We're just really tired of it.
Organizers say nearly 10,000 people turned out to Anaheim.
This is Anaheim. This is Orange County, so it's amazing.
In downtown LA, crowds were massive, with several thousand people filling the streets.
Let freedom ring.
And in Altadena, even senior citizens felt compelled to show up.
You know, I'm not a person who takes part in rallies. That's why I felt this time I really had to go out. I was so frustrated that for myself, I had to take a stand and come out.
Demonstrators raised concerns over immigration policy, the war, and what they describe as threats to democracy.
I didn't fight for our country for a king. I fought for the Constitution.
He hasn't fulfilled any of his promises. Prices are high, gas is high, war is high. He does whatever he wants to do. So we, the people, need to take back our democracy.
Across Southern California, scenes like this played out, with demonstrators hoping their message is clear.
I think basically people are realizing they have to show up. It's not to say that this march today is going to make a difference, but if we didn't show up, it would make a difference.
People are stronger together.
Amber Frias, NBC4 News.
NBC4 investigates is learning one person arrested in the No Kings protest in West Hollywood has been arrested before.
The LA County Sheriff's Department says this is 62-year-old James Lambert Otis. You can see him here holding the U.S. flag. Deputies arrested him for blocking the intersection at Santa Monica and San Vicente. And this is the same man who was arrested for smashing President Trump's star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in 2016 and 2020. In today's case, he was cited and later released.
For more context, you may remember the first No Kings protest was held in June of last year. It was organized in response to President Trump's decision to hold a military parade in Washington, D.C. on his birthday. The second round of rallies were held in October of last year. Today is the third round. Immigration has been one of the major issues for protesters. Today's flagship rally was in St. Paul, Minnesota, site of January's immigration enforcement operation, in which 2 Americans, Alex Preti and Renee Good, were killed.
President Trump has not commented on today's protests, but his White House spokesperson telling NBC News, quote, "The only people who care about these Trump derangement therapy sessions are the reporters who are paid to cover them."
And we are continuing our coverage of the No Kings protests right now on NBCLA.com and the NBCLA app. You can see the events held near you, and you